So, Carolina, what would you like to talk about today?
Well, today I guess what's on my mind is work. I'm having a hard time at work. Um, my supervisor's getting on my last nerve. She's not very supportive, so I'm just having a tough time with that right now.
Gosh, I'm really sorry. It sounds like you're telling me your supervisor is not being supportive. What exactly do you mean by that? Can you tell me more?
I guess I just don't feel acknowledged when I do something well, but whenever I do something maybe not up to her standards, it's I don't know, I just feel like I'm only when I'm doing something wrong is when I get attention, but when I do something that's above and beyond, it's like, oh, well, that's your job.
Yeah. Gosh, that's really hard to not get appreciation for any of the great things that you're doing.
Yeah, I guess I just feel underappreciated right now, and yeah, I'm really contemplating whether I'm even a good fit in the job, or if I should just find somewhere else that I would fit in more. I don't know, maybe where I would be more appreciated, or where maybe I do my job better. I don't know. I'm starting to contemplate whether it's me or them, or.
Could you tell me a little bit more about that? About this struggle you're having deciding whether or not this is the right fit for you?
Well, I feel like I really put in a lot of effort into my job. So I'm not sure if it's just me lacking, or if it really is just that, my supervisor's mean and doesn't want to give me the acknowledgement that I deserve. So either way, I feel like maybe I should quit my job, because if I'm lacking, then maybe I should find a job that I will excel at. But if it's just my boss or my supervisor not giving me the attention that I deserve for the things that I do well, then maybe I should look for another job that will give me that acknowledgement. But also, I don't know if I'll find another job that pays as well.
So, if I'm understanding you correctly, it seems like you're struggling because you don't know whether or not it's what you're doing, or if your supervisor is just really being unkind to you. But then, what if, you find another job and it doesn't pay as well? And then where does that put you? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, it's putting me in a tough spot, because I don't know. I mean, I thought I would really enjoy the job, and I feel like I would enjoy the job if I felt appreciated. And at the moment, that's just not where I am.
Could you tell me a little bit more about what you do in your daily work, in your job, and maybe where you feel like you would really appreciate that appreciation?
Yeah. So I'm a teacher's assistant, and I work with preschool kids. They're 4-year-olds. I supervise them. I plan the activities, and most of the time, I'm there more than the teacher really is. I spend more time with the kids, more than the teacher does. But I feel like all the acknowledgement and the praise goes to the teacher, whereas it's usually me doing all the work.
Yeah. Wow. So you're putting in all of this effort, and yet someone else is getting the praise for that. That sounds really frustrating.
Yeah, very frustrating. Especially when the teacher puts so much pressure on me and the other TA to excel and do above and beyond, and then we don't even get acknowledgement for what we do. So it's like she just wants to look good. But we're, breaking our backs to do everything. And there's hardly enough time. And the pay, although it's better than maybe another job that I could have, it's, it could be better.
Yeah. So, can you tell me a little bit more about the pressure that this other teacher is putting on you, and how that maybe influences your daily work?
Well, you know, my mom always told me if I don't want to work harder, I better do it right the first time because then I'll have to do it more than once. So I always take pride in the fact that I really put a lot of effort into it, the first time I do it. But this teacher is just so incessant, and she wants things so perfect that she really has me do things like 3 to 5 times until she loves it and thinks it's perfect. And I'll be honest with you, most of the times, or all of the times, it's perfectly fine, but it's just not the way she pictured it. But in the end, I also think, well, if you would give me more clear guidelines as to how you want it, then I would do it the way you want it. But if you're just being unclear, then there's not much I can do,
Yeah, it kind of sounds like this teacher wants you to read her mind in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's very hard to read, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Sometimes I feel like just telling her, like, hey, I already did this 3 times. If you don't like it, then maybe you can do it. But then I'm like, I don't want to lose my job like that.
Right.
So I guess it's just, living with the annoyance day by day. Just, I guess, coming to terms with, that's how she is. And she's sort of above me at work. I can't really do much about it. I've thought about going to the supervisor about this, but she actually favors the teacher. They're like this, so there's not much I could do without her knowing that I'm talking about her to the supervisor. At least I think.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about that dynamic of your supervisor favoring the teacher over you? Because that sounds like it must hurt a bit.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I guess it's just my job for right now. I really don't want to be there forever, so I guess I'm kind of just trying to live with it for now, and I'm gonna leave sooner or later. But yeah, the teacher and the supervisor, they're very close, and they're closer than with any other teacher. So it's like you can tell, when there are favorites, and you can definitely tell that they're very tight. So I just feel uncomfortable being in that position where, I feel like I'm being treated unfair by the teacher, but also I can't really speak to the supervisor about it because I'm sure she would take her side. Yeah. And who knows, maybe she might tell the teacher about what I'm saying, and that would make it even worse for me in the classroom.
Yeah. Seems like it's kind of isolating in a way where the teacher and the supervisor have this close relationship and you don't have an ally or someone to go to.
Yeah. Well, the other TA that works with me, I feel like she she understands where I'm coming from. She's felt the same, about this situation, but, I don't want to gossip, so I still feel like I need to just bottle these emotions,
And what's that like for you, bottling all these emotions up?
Oh, it's very frustrating.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I guess it's just very frustrating, I don't really know what to do, but at the same time, I just focus all my energy into the kids because that's what my job is, I have to prioritize the kids and put my feelings aside. And, the one thing I don't mind is that the teacher does really care about the kids and their well-being. So I guess I just try to remember that at the end of the day, it's all about them, and I should just put myself aside and just take care of them.
Yeah. I'm wondering, what's that like, always putting yourself aside and putting someone else first?
I guess I never really said that out loud or even thought of it that way, but I guess that really is what I've been doing, right? I've been putting myself aside and always putting someone before me, but that's kind of what they tell you to do with that job. if the way it is nowadays, if someone comes to school with a gun, you gotta put yourself in front of your kids. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, then it's not good.
Yeah. So it seems like that's kind of the norm, that really everyone in the field or in your workplace is not putting themselves first, is putting the kids first or someone else first. Am I understanding you right?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Kids come first, and whoever's above you comes first too, because, I mean, they're above you.
So can I ask, what's something that you like to do to take care of yourself? If you were to put yourself first, let's just pretend, let's just say you have the opportunity to put yourself first, what would you do differently?
In school? In my work?
Sure, yeah.
That's hard. I never really had to think about that. I guess maybe I would just ask for help when I need it. Because I feel like I'm pretty much doing all the cleaning, I'm doing all the prepping, I'm keeping my eyes out on these kids. I guess I would just, if I need help, I'd be more vocal about it. Usually I just don't say anything and I just take on the burden, but yeah, I guess I could start asking for help more often or being more vocal about if someone's not doing their part. But that's pretty hard because, I don't want to, the last thing I want is to hurt someone's feelings or to have someone not like me and then talk about me, because all the people at work are pretty gossipy and, I just have never liked that.
Yeah. I can imagine having gossip around. It must be a really hard environment to work in. What's that like for you?
It's like every day there's always something. Someone's always talking about someone else, and usually it's about their work ethic, and, it's usually not even big deals, but, they always make it into such a big thing, and they're just talking crap about someone, and it always makes me, I always think, when someone's telling me something about someone else, I always think, oh, that could be me that they're talking about. So I'm really hesitant to really continue conversations like that with people. And I'm also very concerned that I'm pretty much walking on eggshells because I don't want anyone to talk badly about me at work, especially when I'm putting so much effort into it.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but unfortunately, that's our time right now.
Okay.
I so appreciate you sharing with me. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you so much, too.